Hello, hello, hello there. Welcome on into another episode of the Digital Quill podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. I am me, she is she. This is the show you are currently listening to, a random conversation starter. Random conversation starter. Cheers. Just a reminder, I'm not sponsored nor endorsed. You sponsor and endorse me. If you feel like supporting the show in any way, you can do so monetarily and for free by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, even telling me that you hate what I do and never want me to record again, because I will. You can't scare me. So, what do I have on today's agenda for us? Well, unlike last week, where I don't know what happened last week, I'd have to sit here and really think about that. Oh, last week was a holiday week. I get it now. Branding. We're talking about branding. We're talking about brands. We're talking about your brand. We're talking about my brand. We're talking about why I hate and why everyone hates. Mostly everyone. Some people. I don't know. I've heard other people say the same shit I've said. I hate calling this a brand. I hate calling what I do, writing, podcasting, creating videos and things online, a brand. I even hate calling it content creation, but for lack of a better phrasing of words, content creation. We live in the digital age. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. If you know that song, bonus points, because I barely know it. So, I jotted down some notes. Brand, verb, to mark with. To stigmatize, to impress. A characteristic or kind of, and a distinction, a mark. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to deep dive and explore what brand and branding is and all of its variable definitions, how it's used online, etc., etc. But don't worry, this is not going to be a long episode because, one, I am horribly behind. I decided sleeping was better than working. So I did that. And then I woke up. I saw that it was 8 o'clock. I'm like, I was chastising the earlier version of me who was deciding for like an hour that sleep was better than working. And I'm like, it's fine. It's whatever. I'm up now. Let's go and do some stuff that we said we were going to do, which, one sec. What else am I doing today? Let's make this quick. Not me. The screen. Wait. No. Hey. You don't need to go back there. Cat things. Okay, so what do we got here? Well, brand. AI overview. A brand is the public perception and identity of a company, product, or service, encompassing all the feelings, memories, and expectations a customer has about it. It goes beyond a logo or name to include a company's values, reputation, customer experience, and messaging, which work together to create an emotional connection and a distinct identity that differentiates it from its competitors. The process of shaping this perception is called branding. What a brand includes: tangible elements, a name, term, sign, symbol, design, logo, or a combination of these that identifies the source of a product or service. Intangible elements: a customer's perception, emotions, memories, and stories associated with the product or company. A promise: a brand represents a promise of quality and an experience that customers expect when they interact with it. A cohesive identity: a brand is the result of a consistent and cohesive messaging, visuals, and actions which builds trust and recognition. Why brands are important, according to the AI overview. Differentiation. Brands help customers distinguish between different products or services in a crowded market. Trust and recognition. A strong brand helps build trust and ensures customers recognize and recall a company's offerings. Emotional connection. Brands can foster an emotional connection with customers, influencing their decisions to choose one option over the other. No. Sorry. I don't want to influence. I've told you this before. This is the Merriam-Webster dictionary, which, by the way, any links that I do in this show do end up in a description down below. And if you are watching the version of the show that doesn't have those descriptions, I'm sorry. I don't have a team of people to help me update and copy and paste the descriptions to the ones that are without descriptions. I will learn to delegate that in the future. Brand. 1 of 2. Noun. A charred piece of wood. Firebrand. Sense 1. Something such as lightning that resembles a firebrand. Sword. A mark made by burning with hot iron to attest manufacture or quality or to designate ownership. A printed mark made for similar purposes. A mark put on criminals with a hot iron. Wait, what? The mark of disgrace, or a mark of disgrace. The brand of poverty. A class of goods identified by name as the product of a single firm or manufacturer. A characteristic or distinctive kind. A public image, reputation, or identity conceived as something as something to be marketed or promoted. Brand as a verb. To mark with a brand. To mark with disapproval. To impress. Brander. I'm assuming that's, what they mean by brand. Now, just curiosity has me wondering, what about the Cambridge Dictionary? Is it the same thing? A type of product made by a particular company sold under a particular name. This isn't my usual brand of deodorant. She has worked on ad campaigns for well-known brands. Most people associate the brand with high quality. The manufacturer's brands include many popular cosmetic ranges, brand loyalty, generic brand, own brand, on brand. Thesaurus. Synonyms, antonyms, and examples. The set of qualities, business. Aha, okay. All right, let's try to find an article by going to news. Haha. Interesting. 14 minutes ago. 3 hours ago. Oh, hey, photos. Here's a visual example of what brands are, in case none of us were aware that all of these are brands. And actually, this is perfect. Hey, get back here. What are you doing? LinkedIn. Hey. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way. Brand is a customer's promise. A brand is the totality of perceptions. Everything you see, hear, read, know, feel, think about a product, service, and business. Brand is described by customers' view, their experience, and expectation for the future. Hey, great question for you guys. Actually, now that we're on that subject, what do you expect of this podcast going forward? I'm waiting. I want to know what your perceptions are. I'll hold my breath until you speak. I'll be here for a long, long time if I do that. But anyway, moving on. Fix the tab slowing your browser down. No, you fix it. You're the computer. I am the person using the computer. A brand is a shortcut of attributes, benefits, beliefs, and values that differentiate, reduce complexity, and simplify the decision-making process. I see. Well, that is something. That's creating thoughts in my brain. Brand functions. Increase information efficiency. In other words, like how what I like trying to do is accessibility, but hey, whatever. We don't gatekeep around these parts. Risk reduction. Choosing a branded product reduces the customer's risk of making the wrong purchasing decision. Value added. For customers, the value added usually lies in the self-expressive value the brands can provide them. Let's go over these brands. How many of these do you recognize? Yes, 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 yes. Maybe. Yes, 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 yes. Maybe. Maybe? Yes, 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 maybe. Yes, 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 maybe. Is that a fruit? Yes, yes. That looks like a spice. Yes, maybe. Yes. What? Maybe? Yes. 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 Of course, I recognize that brand. It's not exactly my favorite brand, but hey. Yes. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Possibly. That's a water brand. Yes. Yes. I think. Yes. Sure. Oh, fruit. I think. Hellman's. I think that is Vaseline. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Why? We were already here, and then we were here, and I will need to incorporate those later. What does brand mean in slang? What best defines a brand? Name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller, goods, or services as distinct from those of other sellers. Yeah, we get it. What are the 7 brand elements? 4 P's of branding. Now we're getting pretty deep. You. Go away. The term 7 brand elements can refer to 2 different frameworks, one for building equity and another for building brand strategy. The brand equity framework includes awareness, reputation, differentiation, energy, relevance, loyalty, and flexibility. The primal branding framework includes creation story, creed, icons, rituals, lexicon, non-believers, and leaders. Awareness, primal branding. What about the 4 P's? Product, price, place, promotion. Oh, I feel like I probably could have figured that one. The 5 A's. Philip Coulter's model for the customer journey. Aware, appeal, ask, act, activate, or advocate. Activate. Was that even a word? How did I read that? I need to pay better attention. Coulter's model focuses on the stages a customer goes through before and after a purchase, while the personal branding emphasizes the elements needed to build a strong personal brand. See, I understand why, companies, specifically retail and whatnot, started using guest instead of customer. Because when you walk into a Hot Topic, and you're called a customer, how does that make you feel compared to a guest? Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. There's a specific reason, psychology and otherwise, we do the things that we do, just naturally, unnaturally, and other things. I am on a one-track brand mind right now. Let's move on to the next portion of the branding thing, just so we understand branding and the brand of the brand of the brand. So, this is the portion, right here, where we talk about the digital Quill brand. I hate calling it that. Watch my face. The digital Quill brand. I hate calling it a brand. Even though, for all intensive purposes, whatever that phrase saying is, thank you captions, it is a brand. When you do anything online, whether it be music, content creation, or literally anything, you are branding yourself in the digital scape. And that is fine. It's really weird to brand yourself. Anyone who has ever tried to will tell you that. On a personal level, the reason that I hate calling the Digital Quill or Mars Wilson or this podcast or my blogging and writing and speaking and creating and la 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 is because it's more than that to me. It's more than just me trying to put food on the table at the end of the day. It's more than me just trying to live a comfortable life. It's more than me just trying to help my friends and people I care about live a comfortable life. It's me. Like, I knew from a young age that I wanted to make writing my career. Writing and public speaking, my career. Okay, my job. The thing that I do 95% of my time until I'm dead. Right? And of course, you can't really make a living off of just being a writer or a public speaker. I mean, depends. There are some success stories, but not all of them are kosher. We're trying to do things kosher around here. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to take opportunity from other people, and in a competitive market, sometimes you have to. Sometimes we gotta do the things we don't want to do the things we want to do. Put that on a t-shirt. But that's why when creating this episode idea, I was like, 92, branding. Brand definition. Explore with the audience. Redefine plus change. I literally have redefine plus change because I need to redefine branding for me. I need to take out the ugly, bad noise that branding is and be like, yes, I am a brand, but I'm more than that too. Because maybe I'll progress a little bit more. Maybe whatever wound I have currently will heal. I don't know. Whatever insecurity I have about my own brand will disappear. I hope it works like that. I've known since I was a young kid, 6 years old, that I wanted to make writing and public speaking and bringing smiles to people's faces and joy my thing, the thing I do with my life. My very first job was Toys R Us. I was 18. That lasted about 4 months, I want to say, if not a little longer. I don't remember. That was a long time ago and many jobs ago. I knew that if I was going to be in the workforce and not doing the writing and public speaking thing and all of that I wanted to be in management. That was an aspiration I had right out the get-go, was being in management. Not because of the money, but because I don't feel comfortable just being a grunt worker, just being on the lower level bar. It's not about money for me. It's strictly about what I want to do and what I want to learn. After a certain level of part-time or like grunt work that I call it, you stop learning things. There is no cap, or there is a cap, you know, you learn nothing, and I can't do that. I can't do a job where I am learning nothing after a certain point. I will burn out very fast. It's actually one of the reasons I have such a gripe with my last company that I worked for a long time ago. Because I was like, hey guys, I want to learn X, Y, and Z. And you guys can provide that. And that would make me a better asset to your team. If you train me in the things that you said you would promise you would train me in. And guess what? It was even a smaller company too. So there was no reason other than incompetence and laziness that I could not have been trained to be a better asset to that team. So to help us both out, I left. When I was working my customer service job back at Toys R Us, and I was telling my managers and my coworkers, like, hey, like, what do I need to do to, like, learn and improve? And, like, how do I move up the ranks? How do I do what you're doing? One person looked me dead in the eyes and said, you would never be good enough to be a manager. And I was like, what? Okay. We'll see about that. That lit a fire under my ass. And I'll tell you why. Number one, no one, not even myself, gets to tell me that I'm not good enough for something. Number two, you barely knew me. You barely knew what I was capable of. How mean could you possibly be to someone that you don't know? Like, you could have just easily said nothing. As soon as I quit that job, I ended up working for a movie theater, AMC. And that got really creepy really fast, and I didn't really know what to do about it because giant corporation HR wasn't going to listen to me. So I left. Walking down the mall, walk into a Hot Topic, person standing at the counter, lovely human, by the way. Actually, I think we're still friends on Facebook. Is like, yeah, I'm moving out of state and I need to fill my management position. And I'm like, I need a job. Let's talk. So we talk a little bit and they're like, yeah, we're going to get you an interview. So I go through 2 interviews. And next thing I know, my third job, the third job I ever work in my adult life, I'm under 20 years old. I am a manager at a Hot Topic. Not an assistant manager, not a store manager, but a key holder, which is a specific type of, like, supervisor. It's a weird realm. If you don't know, you don't know. It's fine. Not relevant. Point is, every job after that, I was in management. So what was that about not being good enough? I could have easily let that person's words sink in. But I knew myself better than that. And I'll admit it hurt. Because, yeah, I do want the approval of people I admire and people I look up to. I stopped looking up to that person. Because there wasn't much to look up to after that point. I hope they're doing well. I hope their family is doing well. But other than that, you have nothing to teach me. Other than I know my worth. And that brings us to this. My entire life, I've wanted to write. And in 2022, I finally decided that I would take that first initiative and create my first blog on a platform called Substack. It's gone through a few different names. Entertainment, Food, and M's Not So Secret Diary were all there after the fact. The Digital Quill Press is the main blog featuring updates such as life and travel news, recommendations, and a variety of things that can't be labeled as food or consumables, entertainment, or creative writing in the form of adults-only content. This is the central hub for all things the Digital Quill Press and the Digital Quill Media by Mars Wilson. Let us give you our time. We are just one writer trying to navigate a brave world for others, hoping to be one voice amongst many. We are a varied writer covering a wide range of topics and sharing stories or others' stories as well as our own. Our values and beliefs can be found here. Thank you for reading us. Your time is valuable. This post, in particular, was written around this time last year. Look at that, October 24th, 2024. Dear friends and supporters, as we approach the end of 2024 and look forward to 2025, I feel a sense of excitement and trepidation as I will be making some new changes, some bold and some easy. Today, I will share some things I've been working on and what will come and how you can join the efforts. Our goal has always been to connect, inspire, and entertain, staying true to our core values and beliefs. The core beliefs and values of the Digital Quill. I believe people are stronger together. It takes a village. I believe in humanity. I believe in constant growth, change, and learning. I believe in trying new things. I believe in love. I believe in faith and hope. I believe we have everything we need. I believe in naturalism. I believe everyone has their destiny. I believe competition doesn't need to exist so violently. I believe in coexistence. I believe that perspective is everything. I believe in polarity. I believe in free will and freedom. I believe in family and people. I believe people are miracles. I stopped writing blogs to focus on writing the book. And I'm gonna tell you something about the brand and about myself that I'm not exactly pleased with. And the only person who can fix it is me. So, I took a break from my blog writing, knowing that it only takes me about an hour or two to come up with a fully polished blog, edited and all. Because I told myself, I need to focus on writing my book. I need to focus on writing the book. The book. Knowing full well that I do have the capacity to not only do this, but also blog, but also write the book, and also do my silly little poem contests and my silly little story submissions and yada yada yada. I talk with my hands, I'm sorry. I knew as soon as I was like, let us kill all the work we're doing, that I was going to shoot myself in the foot. I did. I literally paywalled my content, my blogs, my articles, whatever you want to call them, the writings, the whispers. I paywalled those, knowing that I could continue writing, and I didn't. It's just pure laziness. It's just pure laziness. There are many excuses I could make, but the one thing that I need to remind myself and remember is do it! Just do it! What are you doing? Just do it! Type away! You have autocorrect with Grammarly. It'll tell you where you're spelling a word incorrectly. As a matter of fact, sorry. That's why I hate calling this a brand. Because for as consistent as I have been, recording every week, minus 1 or 2 or 3 weeks here, blogging, creating the tiki-talkie videos, let's plays, normal regular life stuff, executive dysfunction As one of the TikTok videos I just scheduled today says, I am unstoppable. No, wait, unstable. I'm unstable. Sometimes. That's why I hate calling this a brand, because I am a human. I am a human who wants to do things. I want to write, I want to speak, I want to help grow communities, I want to host events, I want to do it with other people and not just always on my own. Collaboration, connection, community, coexistence, creativity. That's it. That's the brand. That's what I want. That's the mark I want to leave on the world. Moving on to more of A New Chapter Begins. Starting December 1st of 2024, I will transition certain older posts behind a paywall. With this change, I'll also add additional ways to interact. Paid subscribers will have feature access to a Discord channel. And there's like 2 paid subscribers. And one of them is paid for a whole year. That's like the other reason I hate calling this a brand. Is other than you supporting me, what can I offer you, really, besides membership access to a specialized Discord that only you have access to, which I don't know how to set up yet. I would need to consult my friends who are more Discord knowledgeable. There's a word there. I'm blanking on it. Here we go. Here's the part. When starting the Digital Quill Press and then moving it under the Digital Quill Media to include my photography and other various projects, I intended for my newsletter and blog to only be 50 cents per month, the way newsletters were meant to be. Substack didn't like that, I'm assuming for tax purposes. The minimum I was allowed to input was $5, and I have to give them some percentage, so per month, this blog for one subscriber only makes around $4.02. I would still rather this be 50 cents, so readers, listeners, fans, and friends can find other ways to support that they prefer and have access to all the stories, recipes, knowledge, and whatnot that comes from this. But as I said earlier, not all posts will be behind a paywall. They are. Some of them aren't, but they are. There isn't an easy way to unless I go in and manually on some, but then Substack's platform is changing. Projects on the horizon. As I continue to grow and gain confidence, which is still happening, by the way, advocating for myself and the world in minimal ways, I know I have very large-scale projects I'm working toward. One of them is a book I titled 21 Days Gone, and my other passion project is agriculture. Agriculture and farming. Our agriculture needs to be talked about more on a widespread scale. We consume food daily, and most of our products come from farms. But do we know where it comes from, let alone the struggles it takes to get the food to us? In Arizona, we are losing water rights, farming land to corporate development, and many other issues I am barely scratching the surface of. I have seen some interviews. Our farmers need our help, and I hope I can be just one voice of many for them in the future. I'll be attending local markets and writing emails in the hopes I can get some good and worthwhile conversations going. I've been doing the emails front. Not successfully, by the way. People and animals matter to me. I want to make sure we are learning safe, loving, and efficient ways to take care of our land, our animals, our people, and our humanity. A soft launch announcement for 21 Days Gone. Support and community engagement. You can join in on the conversation too. You can buy me a coffee. I drink a lot of it. Tips and donations work too. I don't make the rules. I just provide suggestions. Gifts are always nice, and since I'm a reader, Amazon wishlist. Giving suggestions on anything, content projects, grammar errors, asking for advice if you like the idea of Dear Abby or Dear Delilah advice column, or if you want to share your story in an interview, or just via email, you can do that. Wow, did I seriously set that up to start doing? Nice. If you're more of a social pedia merson. If you're more of a social media person, I am not. You can follow my socials, like my TikTok, where I make quotes and other stupid videos for fun, and my Instagram, which is more like photography and life related, my Facebook, because I don't use it like most people, my X, formerly Twitter. I create Facebook events from time to time, or I'm trying to. Anyway, make art and am a photographer. There are tons of ways to collaborate, support, and grow together. You can purchase one of the first books I've been published in right here, which, by the way, that supports another community, not me. And I can sign it for you if you see me in the wild. This book is unique because it shares many other voices besides mine. Speaking of, simple shout out to the Unsealed community, because all of you are awesome. Contributing writers. Yay! Look at all of you. You're all great. Actually freaking great. I actually recognize some of your names, I think. Oh, I see. Okay. In conclusion, let us share our time. For you, I'd like to teach, inspire, motivate, or at the very least, and probably the easiest, entertain. For me, I'd like to travel, investigate, meet people, make things, and experience what life has to offer. Together we are better, and I humbly thank those who have followed me thus far. I welcome new people, and I hope we can find our place among the stars in my lifetime. With the kindest of regards and a hearty thank you, your storyteller, Mars Wilson. P.S. If you know any farmers, agriculture folks, survivors, or humans with a story to share, email me at the same address for Dear Mars, advice column, or this one. I have several ways of getting in contact. It might take a little tiny bit of digging. Just a little tiny bit of digging. Just a little. I need to update that. Yes. Bridge gaps with humanity. So that is the brand. And I'm trying to remind myself that, while I'm still suffering from a freaking head cold. Oh no. Head cold. I hate being sick. I really do. Like, truth be told, I'd rather take my TBI headache episodes over this. Which is saying a lot, because I hate those even more. Oh no. Don't worry about it. That's it, folks. That's the brand. The brand that I don't want to be a brand, but is a brand. What do you think so far? How do you feel about calling your content a brand? How do you feel about calling your music, your art, your social media career a brand? You had the floor. Speak. Okay. That is my time today, folks. Because I have a laundry list of other things to do. I have a Let's Play, 1 to 2 hours dedicated writing time and reading time. So that's 4 hours in total. I also have to finish reading a book named Ender's Game. Because I have to read Speaker of the Dead. The person I live with has been trying to get me to read Ender's Game the entire time they've known me. That's a long time, by the way. Until next time, the Digital Quill family and humans of the earth, I will see you on the flip side. Remember to breathe, drink water, and always, 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 always keep going. Don't stop. And hug a neighbor. Bye. Thank you for tuning in.